for another race. Oh, geez. We are back for another race here at the Degenerate Race League. My name is Dan Delatorre. Excited to bring you all the action tonight to see what we have in store for another exciting race. We're running a little late, so we're going to power through this because qualifying has already started. But I want to take a second to thank all of our Patreon Gold subscribers. Without your love and support, we could not do what we do here, so thank you so much. Quickly running through the schedule. We had our mystery track, our first race, which was in the Hungaroring. Last week we had a very exciting race in Barcelona. Tonight we're at Donington Park in the rain. This is going to be intense out there tonight, and it is coming down for qualifying. We'll get in there in a second. Our pro class standings, rookie Ryan Bono is holding in first place right now. Returning champion Professor Chronotis is in second. And the great and powerful Neil Kerbal is holding up third place as it currently stands. In our Pro-Am class, Sam Zoiza is currently in first place for the Pro-Am class. We have Alan Leung, the Silent Assassin, chasing him down in second. And Christopher Black and teammate Jim Kelly are tied after the controversial finish last week when there was contact made between Jim Kelly and Christopher Black took that position from him. And finally, in the AM class, Scott Campana and John Millot are tied in first place, and TJ Hope is right behind in third place, tied with Gannon Faust as well. Finally, we can't forget our constructors race. Chronic Motorsports is currently in first place. Hurt Racing, 102 points, only 3 behind them in second place, and Velocity Racing in third with 96 points. Anything can happen out there on the track, and anything will happen out there on the track. Let's get over with commentary. Practice is over. The race is beginning. Let's hop in and let's drive. All right. You're going to have to excuse me out there because I am a little under the weather today. So we're getting what we get, and something is better than nothing. We're riding along right now with Gannon Faust as he's out there, and we can see the track is pouring. Donington Park is already difficult enough. You can see how narrow the track is. Grass on each side. It is unforgiving, unforgivable, and the drivers have to make the most of it, but they have to make the most of it now in the rain. As it currently stands, we can see Senior Tarugo is in first place with a 134.4. Right behind him with the 134.6 is Christopher Black. Jackson Adams is following him with the 135.4. And Jim Kelly is right behind Jackson Adams with the 135.5. Marion Satsar is out there with the 135.9. Then we go our current pole sitter for the AM class is Gannon Faust with the 136.4. Right behind him, returning to the grid for this season, Creamy Von Cream, our creamiest driver that we have on the track, is out there with the 136.6. Him and Faust are battling it out right now. Behind them is the Silent Assassin, Alan Leung, with the 137.9. I think he will expect to see some improvement there. And then we have Scott Campana right now with the 142.8 as he's still figuring it out. Sam Zoiza is still looking to put up his first lap, as well as Will Sanchez and John Millot. Ooh, as we see Gannon Faust run it out there into the wall. Who do we want to ride along with? Let's ride along with Jim Kelly right now. There goes Jim Kelly flying through. Let's hop in the helicopter cam as he is slipping and sliding through this track. And it looks like the server went down, or I went down. Let's find out. All right, it looks like it was me. Let us restart this. All right, we are back. what we missed was Jim Kelly putting up a pole lap as he goes sailing off right now as we're watching. We are kind of wrapping down the qualifying here with 10 minutes and 9 seconds left in qualifying. This is going to be it for any driver that can't get through. Car number 9, which is Marion Satsar, looks like he will be the last to cross the line. All right, we have driver 54, Jackson Adams. He's going to come and look to cross the line. No, Marion Satsar did not get through. That was just the sector marker I was looking at. All right, so we are kind of wrapping it up here. Who is up? Tarugo is up on a lap. He's out there on the lap. Marion Satsar invalidated going at the end. Let's ride along with Jackson Adams. He's improving right now. He has found some time, but he's going to lose it in the hairpin there. Creamy Von Cream, our creamiest driver, is making up some time. He is up by about 3/10 right now. Tarugo is catching him as well. Tarugo has been up. Will Tarugo have to back out, and will he lose his time? One can hope not, but we'll never know. Yahoo DeFauzi, welcome. We caught your crash on stream, unfortunately. Both Creamy Von Cream and Tarugo are still up on their laps. We're going to get both of them picture in picture right now as Creamy Von Cream's going to take the hairpin. He's going to keep it on the track. We've seen a couple drivers lose it there, as well as Tarugo's able to hold it on. Tarugo's losing a little bit of time, but Creamy is improving. He's got another hairpin to get through. Can he hold it through the slippery British track? Creamy Von Cream, he's going to get through. This is going to be big for him. He's going to cross the line. He's going to jump Marion Satsar. That's a pole position for Creamy Von Cream. And Tarugo's going to get up, but it's just not quite enough. He's going to miss it out by 0.08 of a second on Jim Kelly. So there you have it. Let's just hop with Kyle Hirsch as we run through these standings here. Jim Kelly's going to hold down pole position with the 134.2. Senior Tarugo is right alongside him with a 134.3. Christopher Black with a 134.6. Jackson Adams with a 135.4. Then we have our pole position for the AM class. Creamy Von Cream, welcome to season 10 of DRL with a 135.8. Marion Satsara with a 135.9. Gannon Faust is out there, second place in the AM class with a 136.4. Alan Leung puts up a 136.8. John Malott has a 136.83. Sam Zawiza with the 136.9. Sam. This is incredible. Sam has been our race leader. He has said in Discord it's not his track, it's not his race, and it is showing in his qualifying position. And Scott Campagna is going to round out the grid here. We're riding along with Kyle Hirsch as he's working his way through, but we may hop on with the great, the powerful Neil Kerbel as he looks to be the first driver to put up a lap. All right, Neil's coming through these hairpins. These hairpins were where we saw the Pro-Ams and the AMs lose the car. The Pro drivers seem to have no difficulty with it. Neil's going to cross the line, and he's going to put up pole position with the 133 point. No, he's not. He's going to put up a 133.9, but Ryan Bono is going to put up a 132.9. Absolutely incredible lap for Ryan Bono. Let's see who else has crossed the line here. On the Pro class, Kyle Hirsch put up a 134.4. He's going to find himself mixed in with the Pro-Ams. Let's see who else has put one up. Cam Waters with a 134.9. Great lap by Cam Waters. He's going to hope to improve that as well. Gav Cook is going to jump Kyle Hirsch with a 134.3. Hermanis and Chronotis are still putting up those outlaps right now. Neil Kerbel's up pretty big. Let's continue to ride along with him through this final sector and a half of the track. It would not surprise me with these pro drivers tonight to see or to hear that they are choosing to put up a banker lap before they really start pushing it. Ooh, as we see Neil keeping that car on the absolute edge, the wire. It is on rails as he's coming through the hairpin. He's got to hold it because he's still up big. He is up by 0.7 right now, and if he can find 0.3 through this, he will be able to pass Ryan Bono, who's put up a mega lap, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to find that time. In fact, he's losing a little bit of time on that exit. Will he be able to make it up here? That time is improving a little bit. This is going to be close for him, but it's not going to be quite enough. But a huge improvement by Neil Kerbel to get to a 133.3. No improvement for Ryan Bono. Not seeing really too much improvement by anyone else except for Cam Waters. I spoke a little bit too soon. Cam Waters is losing time through that hairpin right as we jumped on with Cam Waters. He lost a little bit of time. He's going to make it up a bit, but it's not going to be enough as he has, who's that right behind him? Teammate Arturs Hermanis, who is right behind him as well. But yeah, with these pro drivers, I think you're going to see them. They put up their banker lap. They got 5 minutes, see what they can figure out, what they can do. The other thing that's going to be so interesting tonight, I can't wait to find out about, is the pit lane strategies. Let's hop on with Cam Waters. I know we were close between him and Hermanis. They're both up by about 2/10. They're the only drivers really who are improving right now. The pit strategies. Will drivers go out with wet tires? It looks like the rain has slowed down a little bit. Maybe we can try to get into the... But yeah, it doesn't really look like it's pouring. Definitely wet conditions right now. What will it be like come race start? Although I do see the raindrops coming down, so it is raining on them. The track is wet. So we will see what they're able to do out there and how will this play out in the rain. How's it going to play out at the start of the race? You're going to see that, you know, big spray coming out if it's really wet, but it could be dry come race time. We don't know. The weather's going to completely reset for the race session. It could be wet, it could be dry, it could be a monsoon pouring. We will all be finding out together as we see Gav Cook has come off the track in Sector 2. It'll be really interesting to see how the pits play out. If they're on wet tires or intermediates, they're not going to need to potentially take the tires this time. Others might decide to take the tires. Really try to get that extra grip, maximize it. It's 5 seconds. Can you make up 5 seconds over the course of a race? On top of that, if we get mixed conditions, if it starts dry, ends wet, we will never know. We're riding along with Kyle Hirsch right now of Team Hirsch Racing. We also have a missing persons report for brother Daniel Hirsch. Not sure where he's been this season. Daniel, if you're watching, come back. I miss you, Daniel. So, Kyle, you're going to have to talk to your brother and get him back here. But let's see what Kyle Hirsch can do. He is up by about 4/10 right now on a lap. He needs 1.1 seconds to catch up to Ryan Bono, who has just come out with a bang here at DRL. Absolutely dominating the track, as we see aliens do every now and again. But how will it come towards race time? Neil is close to him in time. And Neil is an incredible driver out there. That's why they call him the great and powerful. We've lost a little bit of time here going through that chicane. Wasn't the most ideal line for him through that, but let's see how the hairpins go. The hairpins seem to be making or breaking the laps here for drivers. All about that exit speed. It's wet. Can you find the grip? Kyle is not finding the grip here. Let's hop off to Gavin Cook. Gav Cook of Braun GP Racing, slipping and sliding his way through Donington Park right now, as we're going to see him drift to the corner as he's trying to find grip anywhere he can on the track. Cam Waters is still up. Nope, he lost it. Professor Kronotis is up a little bit on his lap right now. We have 2 minutes left in qualifying here. 2 exciting, magical moments together. I'm going to adjust the game volume a little bit. Looks just a little loud, but if you're hanging out here, let me know if you want it up, if you want it down. As always, if you're hanging out with us in chat, let me know if there's a certain driver that you would like featured on the stream here. Gav Cook, he's up by about half a second right now, but again, can he hold it through the hairpins? We have lost all our time through the hairpins. So unfortunate for him, but let's hop on with Professor Kronotis. Actually, before Professor... let's hop on with Hermanis here. Where's Hermanis on his lap? He's still early days of his lap. Professor Kronotis lost all his time. Kyle Hirsch is up on his time as we're going to come through. We're coming along this big, long straight here leading into the chicane. We've seen a few drivers unsettle the car on the chicane. Looks okay for Kyle, but now we come to the dreaded hairpin. Hairpin number 1, we're up by about 0.3 of a second. Are we going to hold that time? No real improvement for our leader, Ryan Bono. Minimal for Neil Kerbel. Gav Cook is still up by about 0.2. Those are the only drivers currently improving. Kyle Hirsch has lost his time here, but will he make it up in this final hairpin? It's tumbling, it's tumbling. We are in negative time now. He's making up some time. He's making up time. Oh my God, he's going to finish it net same. basically exactly the same. Let's see what Gav Cook can do as he works his way down. Hermanis is just preparing himself for another lap. I don't think Gav will be able to finish this lap. Let's actually hop on with Hermanis. This is going to be close for Hermanis. He's not going to make it. I don't think he's going to. 3, 2, 1. He does not get across the line in time. Or does he? Or does he? It looks like Hermanis is going to get one final lap out there. One chance for glory. Gav Cook is going to be our first driver to finish here. He's got one more hairpin. He's up by 0.3. He's up by 0.4. He's up by half a second. He's up. Oh, he's tumbling. He's tumbling. As all drivers have, he has lost it in the hairpin. Unfortunate for him. Kyle Hirsch is our next driver who is improving. Arturas Hermanis is also up on his lap. As soon as we see Kyle Hirsch finish his lap, we will ride along with Arturas Hermanis. Kyle utilizing all that curb there, throwing the car from corner to corner, trying to find absolutely any possible opportunity that he can. Here we go through the hairpin, the make or break moment. All the drivers have found their times tumbling down. It appears the track must be getting wetter because they are losing times on these slow turns where you need to find the traction. We're seeing him drift that corner here. He's going to come through. A minimal time increase. It's not going to be enough to move the marker at all. Here comes Cam Waters through. Cam Waters is making up enough where he could jump a couple places here. Oh, but he lost it in the final hairpin. It's still enough to get past Tarugo. He's going to split Jim Kelly and Tarugo. Incredible lap times. Well, here comes Arturas Hermanis. Arturas come through the final hairpin, and it's nothing problem for him. He's going to jump Cam Waters. He's going to jump Jim Kelly, and he's going to find himself in 4th place. There you have it for our pro class. Ryan Bono in 1st, Neil Kerbel in 2nd, Kyle Hirsch in 3rd, Arturas Hermanis in 4th. All right, let's get into our next session. As we have all of our drivers lining up here on the grid. Let me see here. As we prepare to do our wonderful, exciting grid walk. All right, let's see. All right, qualifying finished. The race is on. Let us get to our grid walk here. In pole position for the pro class, we have Ryan Bono. Alongside him, we have the great and powerful Neil Kerbel. Look at that livery. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Wow. Wow. All right, in 3rd place, we have Kyle Hirsch of Team Hirsch Racing. Alongside Kyle Hirsch of Team Harrot Racing, we have Arturas Hermanis. Then we have our pole sitter for our Pro-Am class with an incredible time, Jim Kelly. He split 2 extremely fast pros, and he's split the teammates of Harrot Racing, because behind him is in the monster car, Cam Waters. Another rookie sensation who's put on a show twice in a row. Jackson Adams, welcome to the stream. Getting ready for some wet race out there. Excited to see what you can do out there with a great qualifying position. Chasing down a pro driver in front of you and defending an AM behind you. Got yourself a little Pro-Am sandwich there. But next to Cam Waters is the wily vet, Senior Tarugo. Next to Tarugo, we have Gavin Cook. See what he can make up some places here. And next to Gav Cook, we have Christopher Black looking to take down teammate Jim Kelly to firmly grasp for third place overall. Although, who knows how the Pro-Am standings will get shaken up after tonight's race with Sam qualifying down in 17th. We have Professor Chronotis, car 420. We've gone from green to blue for Professor Chronotis. He's feeling blue with this rain. Cheer up, Chrono. Then we got Jackson Adams out there, Velocity Racing. A nice new livery here. You might have had this last week, but this is nice as we kind of take a look at it. Very, very nice. Then we have returning to the grid for Season 10, Creamy Von Cream. He is our pole sitter for the AM class, coming out with a bang, letting the AM drivers know he's here to play. Alongside him, we have Marion Satsar with the Kellogg's car, Rice Krispie Treats, chocolatey peanut butter. It's delicious and we love it. It's the breakfast of champs, and we have a little QR code here. Scan the QR code and something challenge for a chance to win. So you can win something. I believe Malot and Marion Satsar are entering something somewhere. And if you live somewhere on this planet Earth, you can probably, potentially, and possibly even win something by scanning this QR code. But what do I know? I'm just a commentator. Then we have Gannon Faust of Goofy Team Racing, our silliest, goofiest driver on the track. Next in, we have the silent assassin, Alan Leung. Alan Leung does not have a QR code on his car because he's not here to win contests. He's here to cut down his enemies. Then we have John Malott of the Breakfast Club. He's got another QR code here. This is a little easier to read. Scan the QR code to enter our Bulls promotion for a chance to win certain states, countries, something like that. But scan it. You can win not once, but twice. Hermanis, you did, dude. I thought you ran out of time. That was pretty crazy, and it worked out very well, jumping a lot of places. All right, down in 17th, we have our Pro-Am first place stander currently, Sam Zuiza. This has been a tough track for him out there, so we'll see how it goes. We're going to see Scott Campagna teleport to the pit lanes there. He's not going to head out, and that's going to finish the grid with Will Sanchez. I do not believe Will Sanchez put up a qualifying lap for this session. We're riding in. This is what it's like to be in the helmet of Jim Kelly as he works his way down the main straight, starting his engine, warming his tires, preparing himself mentally for 45 minutes of intense battle. These wet condition races are not just difficult on track, they're difficult in the mind as well, as we're going to watch these drivers go out. Little mistakes here and there, and Donington Park is so difficult as it is. Unforgiving. I mean, look at this track. It's narrow. Barely two cars will fit. You take a little dip to the left or the right, there's no runoff, there's no extra room. There is grass, and that grass is sending you on a wild ride through the wet, rainy conditions. These drivers want chaos. They are getting chaos today. After the mystery track of round one, all I heard was there wasn't enough wet on the wheel. We need more rain. We need more monsoons. We need more chaos. Well, guess what? You have it here tonight in Donington Park. A chaotic track, chaotic race conditions, and that can only mean one thing: an exciting race tonight here at the Degenerate Race League. As always, we do a full outlap here. We do require drivers to take a pit stop. They are not required to take tires. They are required to take fuel. There's a fixed time for fuel of 25 seconds. If they would like tires, it adds only 5 seconds. So far, most drivers have decided to take the tires, but it'll be interesting to see if that changes with these wet conditions at all. The track temperature is at 25 degrees Celsius right now, which feels pretty warm actually for a wet race. So we'll see how this rain holds up. It is raining right now. Will it rain the whole race? Will it go away? It looks like for the next 30 minutes we're projected some rain. So we will see. We will see. But the pit window, I don't know if I just said this or not. The pit window is not open until 5 minutes after the race begins, and it closes 5 minutes before the race ends. So there is that. Donington Park is a difficult track to overtake on. We'll see a lot of drivers throw it into these final hairpins are the best opportunities to overtake, but I think we're going to try to see drivers force mistakes. Neil Kerbel is wanting to run away with it before the flag is green. Ryan's going to take his position. We're coming down the main straight. Any second now, the lights will turn green, and we are racing. What a start by Neil Kerbel. It's a good jump. He's got the outside line, though. It's not quite as good. Is Ryan going to back out? No, Neil's going to have to slow down a little bit to make sure he can make that turn. He's running right in the back of Ryan. There's going to be a little bump there. Let's kind of hop down in the back again and foul, see if we catch anything crazy back here. It looks like a surprisingly very clean start. Scott Campagna is not out of the pit, so I'm not sure what's happening here. Creamy Von Cream, he's working his way up. We're seeing, wow, everyone moving around like crazy. Nothing's really jumping out to me as anything too intense. Ryan's got it off the bat. Half a second behind is Neil Kerbel. Artur Hermanis was able to get past Kyle Hirsch right off the jump. Cam Waters, he snuck through Jim Kelly. We got Gav Cook and Professor Kronotis who have made their way up relatively quickly past Tarugo and Christopher Black. We are racing here. Sam Zuiza, he has got ahead of Alan Leung. Alan Leung is down in 18th place. Alan Leung fell down off the start. Driver 62 is off the track. Who is driver 62? Where is driver 62? Is it 62? 462. Creamy Von Cream. And that looks like Gannon Faust. Oh, was there contact? Let's try to go back 30 seconds in time and see what happened. And was it Creamy Von Cream, and who was it? Oh, we're just slipping. We're just sliding. Oh, it looks like it looks like maybe that was Jackson Adams getting a little too excited there, throwing it on the inside, trying to make that place relatively quickly. Unfortunate. It's racing. That is what happens sometimes. Very, very unfortunate. Cam Waters and Gav Cook. Oh, as we're watching Neil Kerbel go deep, he almost runs in the back of Ryan Bono. Can you believe it? That's going to give Ryan Bono about a second head start. Sam Zuiza has got ahead of Christopher Black. He's got ahead of Gannon Faust as well. So he's continuing to make his way up the grid on these treacherous conditions out there. Tarugo, he is right there. He has got ahead of Jim Kelly. So Tarugo is currently in first place overall for the Pro-Am class as we ride along with him. Ryan is about 1.3 seconds ahead of Neil Kerbel as it currently stands. Neil is about a second and a half ahead of Artur Hermanis, and Kyle Hirsch is about half a second behind him. Let's see, Alan Leung has got ahead of Gannon Faust down in the back as he continues to chase down Christopher Black and Sam Zuiza. Tarugo in first, Jim Kelly in second, Marion Satsara in third place for the Pro-Am class. Jim Kelly's about a second behind. Let's see, what is our closest battle on track? Our closest battle is Kyle Hirsch chasing down Artur Hermanis as they make their way through that chicane there. Well, one of the chicanes-ish, maybe not, maybe I lied. Half a second here. We are working our way through the first hairpin here. We got a little bit of train forming behind Hermanis here. But will Kyle Hirsch be able to make a move? Will he find the spot in this? Will he look to switch back here? He's going to have a little bit of a tighter line. It's not going to be the opportunity here. He's just going to have to fill Hermanis' mirrors, try to force a mistake somewhere as we see Jim Kelly get ahead of Tarugo. Tarugo's tumbled down the grid a little bit. What just happened to Tarugo? Let's go back 15 seconds of time and watch. Did we spin for Tarugo? Coming around the chicane, or the hairpin, and yes, he does. Just dips a toe a little bit on the grass. That's going to open up for Jim Kelly. This is huge for Jim Kelly. Let's hop on with Kyle Hirsch here as we're going to go back in time and watch Kyle Hirsch look to put the pressure on Hermanis. Hermanis takes it really far inside. That's going to compromise his exit. Kyle Hirsch is lining up on the outside. He's trying to take this next inside line, get his position now. He is alongside him. They're going to bump. They are going to bump. Artur Hermanis goes spinning. Kyle Hirsch is a missile across the track into the beach. He's going to get beached. And there's contact in the back as well. Who else was hit in the back? It was not Gavin Cook. It was who? It was who? It was somebody. It was Gavin Cook was hit as well in the back. We got to go back in time and watch what just happened there. This is going to be a race of replays here. Let's ride along with Gavin Cook. Let's hop on his bumper of his car here. He's coming up. We see the contact. There they are. Artur's is stuck on the track. He's just an obstacle. And with the rain, you can't see anything. Unfortunate for Gavin Cook. We're hopping on right now with Neil Kerbel, who is chasing down race leader Ryan Bono. We also got to keep an eye on Professor Chronotis, who's only 3/10 behind Kyle Hirsch as it currently stands right now. Jim Kelly's less than a second to Artur Hermanis, and Marian Satsara is closing the gap on him as well. We see it in the back there. This is absolutely incredible. This is racing. This is DRL. Sam Zuiza, he's also looking to make the move. He's going to get the switchback here. It looks like he's going to get on John Malott. I don't know how much Malott's going to fight this with Sam, but he's going to probably fight it with Christopher Block as well. Christopher Block's going to try to get around on the outside. Is he going to find that opportunity? Sam Zuiza's going to get through, or is he? Sam Zuiza runs wide. He's up on the grass. Christopher Block is going to push John to the outside and say, excuse me, Pro-Am coming through. Elbows out bumping, but that's okay. John survives. Thankfully, there's no crazy contact there. And Sam Zuiza is stuck behind Malott here. There's not a great overtaking opportunity for a tiny bit, so Sam's going to just try to fill up those mirrors, force a mistake, or hope he gets out of the way. Let's hop on with Marian Satsara. He's chasing down Jim Kelly. This is for first place in the Pro-Am class. Marian Satsara getting a little bit squirrely out of that turn. There's not much he can do. We're also going to hop on and look with Neil Kerbel here. They're coming through the hairpins here. This is the great overtaking opportunity on this track. Try to throw it in on the inside. Try to force a mistake. Hope a driver loses traction. In these treacherous conditions, it is very easy to lose traction. Can Neil force that mistake somewhere? Can he find an opportunity? He is not. Will he find it down the main straight? We're not sure. Sam Zuiza has got past John Malott, or has he? He got through and ran wide. Unfortunate. The hairpins are an opportunity to take, but what giveth, taketh. And it was taketh from Sam Zuiza, who's going to have to find another opportunity to make something happen. This final hairpin is not going to be the opportunity, but will he find it down the main straight? Only time will tell. Not into turn one. He's not going to find it. Let's see. Gav Cook on his recovery drive has got past Jackson Adams. Sam Zuiza is still right there breathing down John Malott's neck. We got a couple exciting battles here. Marian Satsara is also only 3/10, 2/10. We're going to jump back and forth between Satsara and Zuiza right now. Kyle Hirsch, what is happening here? Kyle Hirsch and Cam Waters are wheel to wheel. They are side by side going through this track. This is coming down to the long straight. Oh! Kyle Hirsch is going to throw Cam Waters off the track. He's also going to push Chronotis wide. We're seeing billboards taking off. They're flying through Donington Park. The airfield has returned. We are airborne here. Professor Chronotis, Kyle Hirsch, cars are bumping every which way. Oh, this is incredible. Cam Waters, and through goes Cam Waters. He's going to take the inside line here. Is he going to be able to hold it with Chronotis on the outside? This is incredible racing here. Chronotis runs wide. Cam Waters, what is happening? Cam Waters is stopping on the track, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Waters has been waterlogged on the wet track. What is going on with Cam Waters right now? So unfortunate for him. Incredible. Incredible. Let's see, what is we missed here? Whew. Marian Satsara is still behind Jim Kelly, chasing him down. Man, I had to catch my breath there. All right, Marian Satsara, Neil Kerbel, we're going to hop on with Neil here for a second. Neil is half a second away. Neil Kerbel chasing down Ryan Bono. Ryan Bono had an incredible qualifying time. He is not going to be stopped. The great and powerful Neil Kerbel is here to strike down the young rookie driver. Remind him who the veteran here is, who the three-time DRL champion is. It's the powerful Neil Kerbel. This is our closest battle, along with Marian Satsara chasing down Jim Kelly for the Pro-Am class. They are about half a second for Neil Kerbel, about a little under a second, 8/10 right now for Marian Satsara. Tarugo looks to get himself back in the mix here for the Pro-Am class. We are going to have one of our favorite things here at DRL, a three-way. That's right, a three-way battle between our Pro-Am drivers, Jim Kelly, Marion Satsara and Tarugo, and Marion Satsara is going to run wide. Not a great entrance, not a good exit. This is going to open up for Tarugo. Tarugo's going to go Tarugo. Tarugo's going to get through as he's going to start to chase down Jim Kelly for first place. Tarugo's able to make that overtake. What a move by Tarugo. Forcing a mistake is the best way to do it at Donington Park, and through these hairpins is the ideal spot to make magic. And Tarugo looks like he is the magic man right now, as Neil Kerbel's still trying to drum up some magic somewhere on this track tonight. See some type of opportunity to do something. 35 minutes left to go. You can make it happen in the pits. You can make it happen anywhere. You can force a mistake. It is too early to try to get too risky with it for Neil Kerbel. Sit in the back, watch what your competition does, figure out where is the best opportunity to strike at the opportune moment, which is going to probably be in about 34 minutes and 30 seconds, about right at the end of this race. Marion Satsara is chasing down Tarugo now. Jim Kelly was able to run away a little bit with that battle between Marion Satsara and Senior Tarugo, but he's only got himself about a second up. Tarugo is, Satsara is 8/10 behind Tarugo, so he's going to look to close that gap and not let Tarugo run away with it too much. Tarugo's cutting that time down. He's down to 7/10. Let's see, Jackson Adams is starting to close the gap on Alan Leung. He's got that under a second right now, looking for some type of opportunity to strike. Let's follow along with this battle for a little bit, because we're coming down this main straight. We're about to go through the chicane, and after the chicane, we're going to go through the hairpin. So will this be an opportunity for Jackson Adams to make something happen here? Let's hop in our helicopter. Thanks to our Patreon Gold subscribers, we have a helicopter here. And what's going to happen? Alan looks like he's going to run a little bit deep here. Is he going to compromise his exit? A nice tight line for Jackson Adams. He's going to line himself up well, but Alan Leung's going to have the inside line here for this final turn. Is it the more ideal? No! Jackson's going to get through. He's going to have the overlap. What a move by Jackson Adams, taking back that position from Alan Leung. Tarugo has closed the gap from Alan Leung has closed the gap to Jim Kelly right now. He has got it 2/10 behind him. Christopher Black has got past Marion Satsara as well. Marion Satsara is chasing him down. Neil Kerbel, he's right on the back here of Ryan Bono. They're coming down to the hairpins here. They made their way through that chicane. Here comes hairpin number 1. Is Neil going to look to make the move? No, Neil's going to go... not going to look to make the move. Is he going to look to get the switchback? A nice tight exit for Neil. He's setting himself up well for another turn. Will he think to throw it on the inside? He's not going to have the overlap to do it. He's not going to make a dive from that far away. He's just going to line himself up well. Gav Cook has got ahead of John Malott there, as we talked. Kyle Hirsch is still chasing down Professor Chronotis. Tarugo's fallen back a little bit off of Jim Kelly right now, so we will take a little break of that battle as we watch Neil Kerbel. We're going to get back with that. We're going to hop on with Neil Kerbel's car, watch him work his way through Donington Park, chasing down race leader Ryan Bono. It's incredible watching these pro drivers drive. They make it seem so easy working through these treacherous conditions. Getting up on these curves this way, utilizing the whole track. This is not easy to do in such wet conditions. You accelerate a little bit too much on those curves, you are absolutely going to be spinning in circles. As we're going to see Neil lose a little bit of traction here, compromise the exit. He's going to fall down by about a 10. We're going to hop on with Tarugo. Let's get on top of Tarugo's car here and watch him chase down Jim Kelly. We're working our way through that same exact track. Tarugo's throwing it on the inside. He's going to get on the grass. There's going to be contact. Will Tarugo hold it? How did Tarugo hold it through the grass? Jim Kelly's going to take that position back. Christopher Black is going to get through as well. Oh, what a move. Tarugo pushing the boundaries. An aggressive defense, and there goes Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly's on the grass. He's spinning. We got chaos here in the wet Donington Park. Is Tarugo going to look to make the move here? Take back that position from Christopher Black, who finds himself once again in first place in the Pro-Am class. What a masterclass of driving through the treacherous conditions for Christopher Black, avoiding incidents of Tarugo going on the grass, avoiding incident with Jim Kelly going wide on the grass. But here comes Tarugo again, just like before, lining it up on the inside. Christopher Black's going to take that defensive, aggressive move on the outside. Is Tarugo going to look to throw it on the inside? No. He is not going to get an opportunity because Christopher Black is going to close that door right in his face and say, "See ya later, alligator." Cam Waters, he looks to be back out making up time. I'm not sure what happened there. Tarugo coming down into turn one. He's thinking about it. There's not an opportunity here. Let's hop on back with Neil Kerbel as he is chasing down Ryan Bono still. 0.3 of a gap here for first place. Neil's going to hope, well, Neil would not be complaining, let's say, if somehow Ryan found himself going up on the grass. Let's hop on with Gav Cook quickly here. Gav Cook is chasing down Jim Kelly right now, who tumbled down the order here after going up on the grass and spinning after an aggressive battle with Senior Tarugo that we absolutely love watching. Look at this, defensive by Jim Kelly. He's trying to hold back pro driver Gav Cook. Gav Cook is getting him a little bump draft. He's going to get in on the inside line here. He's going to think better of it. Jim Kelly's going to use all that curb. He's going to run wide onto the grass, and there's nothing he can do to continue to defend that position. He does a good job of not losing the car any more than he would have. Preserve his race here, as we're going to see Ryan Bono and Neil Kerbel start to make their way through some of these backmarker drivers. Already putting in the laps around other drivers, just show the incredible speed that they have here as we begin Sector 2. We know Sector 2 is not a great opportunity for overtakes, but it is a great opportunity to try to force mistakes. And speaking of overtaking opportunities coming through these first of the final two hairpins is Jackson Adams chasing down John Malott. Will Jackson Adams be able to find it on this next hairpin here? It does not look like he's going to have the overlap. That's not going to stop him from sending it on the inside. Can he slow the car down in time? Good job of avoiding contact by Jackson Adams. But it's not almost an incredible move. Sending it from Timbuktu. Thankfully, no contact is made. John will carry on. Jackson Adams will carry on. Has Jackson got in John's head? Is John going to be thinking, maybe I don't want to deal with battling this Pro-Am driver and risk ruining my race? Creamy Von Cream at some point in time has dropped out of this race, I'm realizing. So something happened for Creamy Von Cream. This has put John Malott in a net first place for the AM class. So the big decision here is, do you preserve your class race, or do you battle out there and fight your battles? We've seen drivers do both throughout the years, but we can't forget the great veteran Hall of Famer DRL racer Tyler Morgan, who once battled early in a season. Contact was made battling a pro driver. He ended up losing the overall standings in the season. As we see, who was that these guys are blowing past? Sam Zawiza went off the track there. Sam Zawiza tumbling down the order. This is so big for the Pro-Am class, with class leader Sam Zawiza having such a difficult race out there. But we saw it with Tyler Morgan. He battled early in the season. Contact was made. He tumbled down the order. He ended up losing the season first place by just a few points. As we see Malott going for the switchback. They're going to be wheel to wheel coming into this final hairpin here. Will Jackson be able to slow the car down in time? He goes really fast. He goes really deep battling it. He's in the grass. Jackson Adams, see ya later, alligator. Because through goes John Malott. Through goes Sam Zawiza. Cam Waters, he's going to find himself in the pit. Let's hop on with Kyle Hirsch as he continues to race Professor Cronoda. So, if we learned anything from Tyler Morgan, what we learned is sometimes it's better to focus on your class, because ultimately that's the standing that matters. It's fun to battle, and I'm never going to say don't battle. We love watching the battles here on stream, but sometimes the driver's got to think of what's the best for their race. And it's a difficult line to cross. Jackson Adams is going to head into the pit after going wide into the sand. Thankfully, he's able to get out of his car there. All right, Gannon Faust. Let's hop on with Goofy Racing Crew Gannon Faust as he is chasing down Will Sanchez. This is for second place in the Pro-Am class. As we see, Creamy Von Cream has returned to the race here. He maybe is having some connection issues as well, as we had earlier as we started this qualifying session here tonight. All right, Gannon Faust. Whoa! What contact! Unfortunate. We're going to see them just Gannon absolutely just dip a toe a little bit wide, crushing, absolutely crushing for him. Let's hop on with Neil Kerbel. Neil Kerbel, this is a great opportunity for him. They have caught up. Who have they caught up to? Is this Cam Waters that they've caught up to? Cam is going to let them pass. But this is a great opportunity for Neil Kerbel. As we're going to see Ryan go a little wide into the sand, that's definitely going to compromise his exit. And will Cam Waters look to unlap himself and get in the mix? No, he's just going to slow down, let these guys battle it out. Neil Kerbel looking for an opportunity here. We saw him get a 1/10 of a second behind Ryan. Great exit for Ryan there. That's really what comes down to the most important thing is maximizing that exit. But yeah, Gannon Faust, he just got a tiny, tiny, tiny piece of rubber on that grass, and he was just an absolute missile. Right, let's hop on with Sam Zuiza as he is chasing down John Malott here, trying to make something happen. We have one more turn here, and then we're going to have this long straight coming into the beginning of Sector 3. This is our best overtaking opportunity. Will Sam be able to make magic as he has done race after race after race this season? Coming into that chicane here. Great exit for John. Sam looks like he lost just a tiny bit of time going through that. John just got to focus on a great exit here out of this hairpin. He's got enough of a gap on Zuiza. Zuiza getting a little twitchy. That's got to be good for John. He's going to work his way through. Coming down, he's getting a little defensive, holding that inside line and not giving Sam any opportunity to maybe even think about a move. But John's going to come to the pits. He's not going to want to battle. Christopher Black is chasing down Tarugo. We're going to see Christopher Black make his way through past Will Sanchez as he's continuing to chase down Tarugo. Sin, welcome to the stream. So excited to have you here. We got a rain race and we've had a lot of chaos already. Drivers up and down the grid right now, slipping and sliding every which direction. Christopher Black and Tarugo have been battling it off. Tarugo caught up to him. Christopher Black passed Tarugo after contact between Tarugo and Kelly. And Tarugo somehow caught up. I'm doing alright. I've been really sick today. This is like my Michael Jordan flu game here. So I almost didn't stream tonight. But sometimes you got to do it for the drivers who like to go back and watch these streams back. So all of you out there on the grid, I did this for each and every one of you because I was really not thinking I was going to do it tonight. Yeah, thank you, Sin. I appreciate it. I actually got ate something that didn't cooperate with my stomach because we watched Neil Kerbel getting right on the back of Ryan Bono again. Christopher Black is going to get through Tarugo as he's going to take in that pit stop. See what can happen here. All right. This has been such a battle. This whole race in, it has been Neil and Ryan neck and neck. You're starting to use the McLaren. I liked the McLaren a lot. You moved over to the Mercedes after the Audi, right? You went Audi and then you went to Mercedes. Is this Neil's opportunity? Getting right back there. I just don't think it's going to be one for Marion Sassars in the pits as well. Kyle Hirsch, he is chasing down Sam Zuiza. Kyle Hirsch has pit. Sam has not. What other battles do we have on the grid? We got the silent assassin, Alan Leung, looking to cut down John Malott. Oh, we got a race out of the pits between Tarugo and Satsara. As they come out, no one really to interfere with them. And this will be really interesting. Man, that felt like that must have been a really long pit for Tarugo. 32 seconds to 27 for Satsara. It looks like Tarugo maybe took tires and Satsara didn't. You're having some trouble with the Mercedes, a light rear end on more technical tracks, especially when exiting corners. Yeah, that'll do it to you. Have you ever tried the Aston Martin? I raced that for a really long time. That I always liked the Ferrari. The Ferrari was pretty good, and then the Lambo as well. All right, Tarugo looks to be just slightly running away with this. Neil Kerbel is our new race leader here as Ryan Bono has moved into the pits. You have a problem with the brake of the Aston Martin and find the steering too sensitive on controller? Interesting. I forgot that you race on controller. Which makes it like doubly impressive that you're as fast as you are. The Lambo, you don't like the visibility. Yeah, I can understand that. Have you tried the Ferrari at all? Although I know a lot of people think the Ferrari's like a little bit of like a rookie car. But as a fan of it, I always put up some of my best times with it. All right, let's hop back on with Marian Sassara as he continues to chase down Tarugo here. Oh, Marian Sassara's going to go blowing through. Incredible move by Marian Sassara. No, he's going to blow through. He's going to blow through Will Sanchez, who let him through. I guess that makes sense. Marian took that opportunity, and he struck. All right, Ryan's working his way up the grid right now as other drivers are going to pit. He is currently, as it stands, 49.5 seconds behind Neil Kerbel. His total pit time was 52 seconds. That looks to be about as good of a pit as anyone has put up. In fact, it is the best pit time anyone has put up. We will see what Neil can do in the pits. So many races this season have been decided through the pit lanes. All right, let's continue to ride along with Marian Sassara and Tarugo as well, just because this is the closest battle. You did a 147.7 on Monza. Oh, nice. That's a really fast pace. Really fast. In fact, I'm going to pull up our leaderboard for Monza. And take a look at where that would stand as we ride along with Marian Sassara. We're going to keep an eye on Hermanis as well, as he is about a second behind Sam Zuiza. All right, and we're going to get over to Monza. All right, our server best was a 146.8 with a Ford Mustang. We got a lot of 147s, 147s. You were 147.7. That would put you in, Artur Serwanis has a 147.78 as his personal best and 10th overall for our server. So, Sid, that pretty much puts you top 10. These are best anytime someone has done it. So it's not necessarily the best. It could be a race that race lap they put it on. It could be qualifying, or it could have just been in the practice servers. So, Sid, it seems like you have no choice now but to buy a gaming PC just to race with us. I don't make the rules. Sorry, friends. Nice, yeah. Monza can be a very difficult track to do in like open lobby racing if that's what you're doing, or like LFM racing. Just because, you know, you go through those those first couple turns through that initial hairpin, and it's just absolute chaos. You're almost better starting in the pit lanes. Man, Marian has just been flying through here trying to catch Tarugo, but he is not really making up too much time. But we have Artur Hermanis, who's chasing down now Sam Zuiza, who got past him there as we were talking. Yep, see, started P5, taken out on turn 1. Returned P21, finished P10. Yeah, it's a great recovery race, but it's the unfortunate nature of racing at Monza. a very difficult track to battle on. Neil Kerbel has not pit. Neil Kerbel has pit. Holy cow! Seeing why we were talking Neil pit. We missed something incredible. A 50-second total pit stop for Neil Kerbel. 2 seconds better than Ryan Bono. That's got him an almost 4-second lead. Neil Kerbel has overtaken through the pit lanes. Marian Satsar, he's also closing this on Tarugo here. A couple other drivers have been able to put up crazy pits like that as well. Gav Cook hit a 50-second pit stop as well. Hermani's hit a 51-second pit stop. It all matters how you pull into the box. That really is where it comes down to. From the front at least. Yeah, it's got a big QR code on the back. If you go back and watch the video after as we did our grid walk, Marian Satsar and John Malott have some competition that they've entered in, and there's a QR code that you can scan and enter into the competition or something like that. It really depends on like what country you're in. It's like eligible for certain countries. I think they were primarily European countries, but I don't remember off the top of my head what Malott said it was. But yeah, so it's definitely much more pretty on the front than the back right now. Oh, and Tarugo spun! Tarugo spun and through goes Satsara. Satsara is going to take that position right from Tarugo. That is a first place overall for Marian Satsara right now with about 14 minutes left in the race. It is pretty much, well, not pretty much, all the drivers have pit, so we are just racing here to finish. Marian Satsara holding that first place position in the Pro-Am class. John Malott is currently holding that first position in the AM class, as we're going to see him let Kyle Hirsch go right through. He doesn't want to get mixed in that battle. And Neil Kerbel, he has a 4-second lead right now to Ryan Bono. You see him in the very back, just starting to come down this main straight. He's going to have to find his way through Jackson Adams. This can be a very tricky track for drivers to let the overtaking cars through. Per our rules here at DRL, you must give the position back on the first available straight. Through turns like these, you are not required and not encouraged to give back the lead because, or give the position up because you're going to work your way through the turns. If the overtaking driver wants to take that position, they can do so at their own risk. Yeah, right now we just kind of settled into our race here. Looking at Tarugo, Christopher Black's about 3 seconds behind him. Jim Kelly is just kind of tumbled down the grid. So unfortunate for Jim Kelly. He was leading this race here. Him and Tarugo were just having an incredible battle. Tarugo hit a little bit of grass and spun around, and Jim Kelly went a little deep and spun around. Opened the door for Christopher Black. Somehow, Marian Satsara has found his way atop that, but he has to worry because Tarugo is looking to strike. He wants to take him down for first place overall right now. Gannon Faust was just being goofy. You know, that's what he does. Goofy racing, just a goofy guy out there, you know? Just a little goofy goober. Oh! Who was that we just saw? John Malott! He went off the track! John Malott went off the track. He's going to have to rejoin here. Artur Shermanis is coming through. John Malott does a good job of getting back on the track and doing so in a safe manner. That's okay, though. He has basically a full lap lead over Gannon Faust right now. So he's going to find himself in okay position with 11.5 minutes to go. He still has a minute 20 to the next AM driver. Yeah, Gannon had, maybe it was Gannon and Will. Someone, they had some contact where they really spun out and maybe took up some damage. So that kind of set them back a little bit. Christopher Black is looking to attack. What happened? Tarugo got through Marian Satsara as we were watching that. Something must have happened to Satsara as we were watching John Malott there. But Tarugo has taken first place in the Pro-Am class. We're probably going to keep our eye here right now. Ryan Bono is pretty much 5 seconds behind Neil Kerbel at this point in time. No one else is really close to a battle. These 3 drivers are going to put on a show for us for these final 10 minutes. And until something else happens, we are going to keep an eye on Christopher Black chasing down Marian Satsar, who is chasing down Tarugo. Marian Satsar is about 2 seconds behind Tarugo, so he had to either had to spin, contact, something like that had to happen. Can't master the Lexus's trail braking. I can't imagine, being completely honest, trail braking at all on a controller. I'm super uncoordinated when it comes to driving on a controller. I don't know how anyone does it, to be honest. Christopher Black is right there. He's sniffing that tailpipe. He wants it. He's going to put it on the inside as they go to the chicane. Marian's not going to put up too much of a fight, and through goes Christopher Black. Christopher Black's going to find himself in second place, and his next target is Tarugo. Christopher Black was a huge winner last week when he was able to get through after contact was made with Jim Kelly, and I think it was Alan Leung. I do apologize if I'm wrong. I know it was Jim Kelly because Christopher Black stole that podium from his teammate, and they are tied in points for third place. This is huge, and with Sam Zawiza all the way down last as it currently stands in the Pro-Am class, this is their driver's potentially one opportunity to make up some points on Sam, who has dominated through the first couple races of this season. See, Christopher Black, as it stands, is two and a half seconds behind Marian Satsar. Christopher Black is about 2 seconds now. He's cut that down by half a second while I'm stumbling over words. Behind Tarugo. Marian Satsara is about 1 second behind him. This is still our closest battle. Some notable ones to keep an eye on is Sam Zawiza, a second and a half behind Alan Leung. Still keeping an eye on the lead as well, with Ryan Bono closing that down to from 5 seconds to 4.5 seconds as it currently stands. What an incredible race tonight. So much excitement up and down the grid. Things have happened so fast because it's not so much the battles where we're seeing that overtake where it's clear looking at the timetables. You see that time dropping. It's someone touching the grass. It's spinning out. It's the wet, rainy, chaotic conditions. And we're just seeing things change instantaneously. Let's get on with Sam. He's cutting this down to under a second now. This is our closest battle at 0.9 of a second. Marian Satsar has fallen a second and a half behind Christopher Black. Christopher Black has closed that gap to 1.3 seconds to Tarugo. So Christopher Black is making up time on Tarugo. Satsara seems to be falling down a little bit. Sam's going to run very deep here, almost coming in the back of Alan Leung. He has absolutely closed that gap just to 0.3 of a second. We're coming down this long back straight here, beginning Sector 3. This is the best opportunities for action. We've seen action here all night. Will we get some more action here? Is Sam, he thought about it. Ooh, he thought about it all right. Probably for the best that he did it. He's going to try to line it up. Sam's going to get on the inside. This is going to be his opportunity. Let's get in the helicopter. Will Sam go deep? Will he be able to hold it? Sam is going to go deep. This is going to open up for Alan Leung to hit the switchback. Alan Leung's going to be side by side with them as they come down to the main straight. What will happen here? Will Sam be able to break later? Or will it be the silent assassin, Alan Leung? What a move by Sam Zawiza. He's going to close that door in Leung's face. Leung's going to try to hit the switchback, but he's right there. 7 minutes left in this race. There's plenty of time for the silent assassin to cut down one driver one more time. Coming down to this first corner. Will Alan Leung look to make a move? Did Sam break too much because Alan's really closing that gap? No, it's not enough. And Christopher Black, as we talked about this, he has closed that gap to Tarugo. He's right there coming through the first of these final 2 hairpins. This is a great opportunity for Christopher Black. We see Gannon Faust just running down on the grass to get out of the way. Marian Satsar in the background. Christopher Black is not going to have the overlap to make something happen, but he's only half a second behind. Can he find good exit here as they're running up on the back of John Malott in front of them? John is going to have to get out of the way to let this battle occur. But when exactly will they catch John Malott? Tarugo's going to hope to sneak through here and get Christopher Black stuck behind him through some of these turns. As a reminder, John is not required to get out of the way through these turns. It's at the overtaking driver's risk. If Tarugo can find an opportunity, he absolutely will want to do that to try to build a second or so of the gap. get a little bit of breathing room, but he's going to think better of it. He is not going to look to throw it on the inside. John Milott, again, has every right to defend it the way he is defending his position. And in this, Christopher Black has closed that gap. He's right behind Tarugo. This is the battle of the night. This is the battle for first place in the Pro-Am class. Tarugo's going to get it on the inside. They're going to bump. They're going to bump, but Tarugo's okay. Milott's just going to let them through here, but Christopher Black is breathing down his neck. He is looking for any opportunity, but did he go too wide here? He got up on the grass. That is not what you want to do on this track. Not in these wet conditions. John Milott is now side by side with him. John should probably just lift and let him do in the chicane, which I'm sure he'd do. Marian Satsara is in the rearview mirror. He's closing. Is Satsara going to look to throw that car on the inside? No, he's going to think better of it through the chicane. But here they come to the hairpins. Is Satsara going to throw it on the inside? We have 5 minutes left in this race. So there's plenty of time to make moves happen. You don't need to force it yet, but if you feel like you have an opportunity, make that opportunity happen. Christopher Black is going to have a great line through that hairpin there. Look to maximize it. He's a second and a half past Tarugo after taking the grass. So unfortunate for Christopher Black there. Now he's got to defend from the ever-vicious Marian Satsara, looking to make something happen here. Get a little squirrely. The race is coming to the end. I don't know how many drivers took tires or didn't in these conditions. We'll have to find out post-race, but what a battle here. Jackson Adams has also started to close this gap here on Jim Kelly. He is about 0.8 of a second behind him coming through these final hairpins here. Will he be able to make magic happen? Will Jackson Adams be able to strike down another driver here to find himself up in 4th place in the Pro-Am class? It does not look like he's going to have the overlap there. Going back and looking at Alan Leung, he's fallen about 5 seconds behind Sam. So there's going to be no opportunity for him. It looks like Sam will have the better pace. With that said, we still have our three-way here, our three-way for the 3 steps of the podium. 3 drivers, 3 places, 3 steps, 3 minutes. Number 30 has a 3. Oh, what a time to not be subscribing for an ad break here for 1:30 with only 3.5 minutes left in this race. All right, Satsara has fallen a second behind Christopher Black, who has closed that gap back up on Tarugo. He is down to 0.3 here as we work our way through these hairpins. What will this opportunity be? What will his moment to shine be? Will he get one? No, Tarugo's going to be able to hold this position, hold a good line, quickly jumping back with Jackson Adams and seeing him close that gap to Jim Kelly. These are our battles. The Pro-Ams are showing up tonight, and the Pro-Ams are putting on a show. Neil Kerbel dominating the race, 6.5 second gap right now to Ryan Bono. Christopher Black is right there on Tarugo. He's closed that gap. Marian Satsara trying to get in the mix here. Trying to make up some time while they're battling. Satsara is. They're going to be side by side here. Christopher Black's going to think better of it. Or is he? Or is he? Can Marian Satsara find a way to squeeze through? Oh, Christopher Black's trying to use every inch. He's trying to find that way on the outside. He's going to get up on the grass again. Is this going to open the door for Satsara? Satsara is going to look to line it up on the inside coming in. Satsara is going to think better of it. He's going to back out leading into the chicane here. We're going to come through the chicane. Christopher Black is going to run a little wide. That's going to compromise his exit. Will it open it up for Marian Satsara to make a move? Will he dive into the hairpin? No, he's not going to dive into the hairpin, and Tarugo's there also defending it as well. Marian Satsara with the switchback! Marian Satsara with the switchback! Oh, is it enough to make it stick? It's not. It is not. And right behind them, Cam Waters has entered the chat. Jackson Adams has found his way past Jim Kelly as well. Oh, we got battles up and down the grid here. Oh, God. Let's go back 15 seconds and look at Jackson Adams. How did he get past Cam Waters here? Oh, or not Cam Waters, sorry. Jim Kelly, he ran wide in the same spot as last time. We've gone from 3 to 4, though, ladies and gentlemen. We have gone from 3 to 4. Tarugo still leads. Christopher Black is right behind him. Marian Satsara, half a second behind him. And pro drivers, Cam Waters is rounding out this grid. We have less than 1 minute left in this race. We Race leader Neil Kerbal. Oh, Marion Sassar is going to let Cam Waters through, or he's not going to fight that at all. This is going to be interesting to see how does Cam Waters come in and mess with this battle here in Pro-Am. And Cam Waters has every right to. Christopher Black looking for any opportunity. He's got to avoid the grass, though. The grass is not going to be his friend here. Is he going to be able to make a move into the chicane here? He's going to hit Tarugo. He's going to run into the back of the Tarugo. He's going to send Tarugo as a missile through. Tarugo will survive. Kelly will, Black will survive. And Cam Waters, will he look to make the move on the inside on Christopher Black? Cam Waters taking that inside line. Cam Waters, will he get through? This is huge for Tarugo. This is huge for Tarugo. The race is over. The time has expired. We're going to have one last lap here for these drivers. Whoa, it's chaos. And through goes Sassar. Sassar's going to get through Christopher Black here in the final moments of this race. We're not taking a checkered flags. There's one more lap here. Christopher Black's going to have the inside line. This is going to be better coming into turn one. What will happen into turn one? Christopher Black, Marion Sassar, Christopher Black there, wheel to wheel through turn one. Christopher Black's going to get the better exit. Christopher Black is going to get through to hold that second place position. Cam Waters coming in. Cam Waters causing chaos. You absolutely love to see it. We also got to keep an eye on Jim Kelly as he's working his way, as he's chasing down Jackson Adams here. The checker flag is pulled. This is it. It's a drag race to the finish. Jackson Adams is going to hold on to it for 4th place in the Pro-Am class. 5th place for Jim Kelly. What a race for those two. As we've been talking here, Neil Kerbal took the checkered flag. Ryan Bono took the checkered flag as well. Let's get back on with this race. Our 4-way battle. This is it. This is the excitement. Kyle Hirsch takes 3rd place, the final podium position for the pro class. Professor Krunotis, Artur Shermanis, Gavin Cook are next to go. Cam Waters has got through all these drivers. Marion Sassar, Christopher Black has got through Tarugo. Wait, what did we miss here? What did we miss as we were talking? Tarugo found himself from 1st to 3rd. Oh, here comes Satsara. Satsara's going to get Christopher Black. Satsara in the final chicane. But no, Christopher Black, he goes into Cam Waters. They all are crashing. What is happening right now? What is happening at Donington Park? Tarugo gets through. Christopher Black, a drive-through for Cam Waters for track limits after getting punted off the track. Satsara throws it on the inside. It's a drag race to the finish. 1st place for Tarugo. Oh, it looks like Christopher Black's got the speed. He does. What a finish in the Pro-Am class. Whoa, what a finish. Absolutely incredible finish there. Tarugo, Christopher Black, Marion Sassar, 1, 2, 3 for the Pro-Am class. Congratulations to John Malott for a big win. Gannon, Faust, and Will Sanchez make up the final podium places there. Wow, what a race. I didn't save that whole replay. Whoops. Save the highlights. Oh, what a finish to that race tonight. Absolutely unbelievable. Marion Satsara, Christopher Black, Tarugo, chaos through the second to last turn on this track. Christopher Black is going to run into Cam Waters. Make that contact, causes contact with Sassara, causes contact with Tarugo. They all just kind of stop on the track. They got one turn to finish out. Tarugo gets that car going quickest. Christopher Black's got a firm second, but Sassara throwing it from Tomorrowland in on the inside, going up on the grass. One wheel on the track is all you need, and it's all he had. A drag race to the finish, separated by 1/10 of a second as they cross that line. That was incredible. Give me a second to catch my breath, and give me a second to see if any drivers want to be interviewed tonight. Give me 1 second, and I will be right back.
DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no
are. What are we doing here? We are going to set up some interviews. I need to. All right. Let's pull in Tarugo. Tarugo is our first driver here. Tarugo, welcome to the stream. Say something so I can make sure I got my audio set up right here.
Hey, how's it going? Is it working?
Yeah, I had like a bunch of audios running once I did that. Okay, we're good. We're live. Holy cow, what a freaking race out there tonight, huh?
Oh, it was always when there's a wet race, it's so much fun. It literally is. It was a blast. It was a blast.
Yeah, I mean, we're following along, and I think it was you and Kelly in the beginning, and you kind of looked to move it in on the inside at some point, and he kind of got aggressive with the defending. You ended up kind of dipping a toe onto the grass and spun you out. He went wide, spun you out. And then it's you and Christopher Black. It's you and Marion Satsara. It's you and
Oh.
God. It felt like every single driver on the grid. And what a finish to that race through that first of the final two hairpins.
Yeah. I literally told my teammate because I saw him coming up, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm coming, I'm coming." And I guess that just saying that distracted me enough that I put a tire into the freaking curb or in the grass, and it caused me to spin out. And there goes Christopher Black. There goes Mary Sarah. There goes who was the other one?
Cam
The pro
Waters.
driver, Cam Waters. And I'm like, that's it. Like I have to send it into the chicane. I gotta hope that someone outbreaks themselves into that last two corners, and it happened. I just squeezed in the middle, and I pulled it off. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't set up the camera tonight with not feeling well, and I wish I did because I don't think I've ever lost my mind the way I lost my mind. I didn't. It's just like it broke my brain because it's just. It's Christopher Black breaking a little late, hitting Cam Waters. You and Satsara have nowhere to go, and there's just this moment where everyone is stopped on the track, and then you guys just kind of all take off at the same time, and it's that one last corner for the victory, and yeah, you end up coming ahead. So exciting and a huge finish tonight with Sam really struggling on this track, not really having his best finish. In fact, I think he finished last or second to last in the championship here.
Yeah.
So you came into this in fifth place with 12 points, but this will be big for you. This is
Yeah, this
this is like
season
20
has been a little
points.
bit of a tough one. I come in the first couple races, and I just either I don't have the time to put in for the practice, or the first track, the Hungaro ring, is not one of my strongest. So I definitely knew that I was going to be having issues there, and this definitely gave me a little pick me up. I'm more comfortable in the rain for sure. I always feel like this is where I could really put something together, and it was a blast. It really is. Everybody on the track is clean. We're all aggressive. Everybody races really well in the rain here. We should absolutely have more of these.
Yeah, and it's funny too because it's like a love hate for a lot of the drivers. You'll hear like all week people being like, "Oh, the track conditions suck." It's pouring out there, whatever it is, and the race comes. Yeah, it ends up being crazy because it's so from racing ACC as long as you have. It's so difficult to overtake. There's not a lot of good
Oh,
opportunities on tracks. You kind of have to force a mistake, and the rain really aids with that. There's so many
yeah.
opportunities where a driver spins, and it's a harmless incident, right? It's not like, oh, they went into a wall and they need 3 minutes worth of damage repairs. Everyone kind of quickly recovers, and the battles resume as they are. So
Yeah. Yeah, that was fantastic. That was great.
yeah, but yeah, it was a really good race tonight. Really exciting. Congratulations on a huge win. First win of season 10 here for you, and hopefully we'll see a few more.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All
Take care,
right,
Dan.
you too. All right, next we got Kyle Hirsch. Kyle, welcome to the stream. How are you feeling after this race?
Moist.
From the weather, from the intensity, or a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. That was a sweaty, very, very sweaty race.
Yeah, it was. It was indeed. There was chaos up and down the track. We saw a little bit with you early in the race, battling out, elbows out, bumping around with people. But yeah, it felt like just you and Chronotis were at such similar paces all night that it was just that constant intensity throughout the night.
Yeah, it was really fun racing with Chrono. It always is. It was. I just got lucky with how we caught traffic. We caught up to the traffic, and he didn't pit, and I was like, he'll lose time trying to get through those guys, and it worked out. So without that, I probably would have bumped doors with him like I did for Manus and Cam. So
Yeah, and something
and
seemed to
actually,
happen
I
with
think I
Cam
bumped
out there.
doors with I think I bumped doors with Kerbal too.
Yeah, great race for Kerbal tonight also. But yeah, if something must have happened to Cam because it looked like you and where was it where your engine just blew up?
Oh,
Laguna Seca.
yeah, BMW Laguna.
Yeah.
Yep, my pit
And
team
yeah,
let me down.
he just kind of stopped, and I don't know what happened. And he had a good recovery drive. There was absolute chaos at the end with him and the Pro Am drivers. A really exciting
really?
finish to this race. Yeah, through the second to last hairpin, they were all like a tenth apart from each other, and there was contact, and they all ended up pretty much just like stationary through that hairpin, and there was like that half a second where no one's moving, and they all just kind of take off through that final hairpin and little drag race to finish for them all. So, yeah,
I'm looking forward to
an
watching
exciting battle. But what's your thoughts of the rainy races? Are you a fan, or are you not such a big fan of the rain?
You know, it depends on the race. Like, after I have a good race in the rain, I think to myself, I love rain races. After I have a really bad one, I'm like, I cannot stand them. So I have a love-hate relationship with them. They're fun of battling. The the spray and the slippery conditions makes the battles more fun. But
Yeah, and I was talking
qualifying,
with
I hate it.
yeah, qualifying's tough, and it wasn't as exciting of a qualifying as we normally see. Um, but I was talking with Trugo about it. Is it just you see a lot of harmless mistakes, right? Where drivers just lose a little bit of time, they spin out, they go a little wide, lift. So you saw so many more battles say where it didn't end up with I need a minute of damage repair to be able to continue to drive.
Yeah, I know he did have an. I think he got hit by somebody. I don't know who it was. So I know he had damage also.
Who's that?
So he was. I think it was Cam.
Oh.
Oh no, it was Watt. I got him mixed up.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it was an exciting race, a great race all in all. Another good race for you. However, not so great in the constructors title. You got to get Daniel back out here so you guys can start chasing them down for the constructors championship.
Yeah, I need to give him a call and see what's going on.
That's right. Might need
I know he's
to
been
book a plane
he's got a
ticket
lot of
and
family stuff.
get a belt buckle. Ah.
There you go. Gotta get a belt buckle with
every
our
person
race
comes
logo.
a point in their time in their life where they need to decide what's more important: ACC racing or family.
I agree. And it's usually ACC racing, if you ask my wife.
So, but yeah, great race out there. Love watching you battle it out there. How are you feeling about next week at Imola?
I love Imola. So no matter what conditions, I'm excited to go there.
Yeah, it's a fun track, one of my favorite to drive. I'm very disappointed because I am not in town next week, so I will miss the race.
Oh, no.
I'm really hoping I can find someone to take the place of streaming it. So reach out to Daniel. If he can't race, maybe he can at least hop on and run a stream or something.
He's done that before, so I'll let him know.
Yeah. So, but tell him
Yeah.
not to do too good. I don't want my position here being taken. Or
You
else
guys
it's
can just
back
co-do
to the
it.
back one. Yeah, that's right. Daniel.
There you go. Dan on Dan.
That's right. So, all right. Well, Kyle, have a great night. Great race. Really exciting to watch. I think it was a podium too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Finally got a podium this year.
There you go. Keep on striking. All right, Kyle. Have a great night. All right, there you have it. Sin, amazing race. Love to see it. Yeah, Sin, it was quite the exciting finish to it. Hopefully it pumped you up for some more quality laps, and hopefully it pumps you up to find yourself on a podium at a race sometime today for you. And Gav, thank you for using your Prime sub on us. 14 incredible months together. It feels like it was just yesterday. Here's to 14 more. Again, Gav with race 101 of his DRL career. I think it's just your ACC career, too. No way, it's just ACC. It's got to be also including iRacing, not including F1, though. So, well, what a race tonight. That's it for our interviewers who are lined up to talk. Let's quickly take a look at our schedule one last time here. So, we had our first race at the Hungaroring for our first mystery track of the season. We found ourselves last week in a very exciting race at Barcelona. I think the Barcelona race, as exciting as this one was, Barcelona, I think, was our most exciting race in DRL history, because I can't think of a single lap that there were multiple drivers within half a second of each other that whole race. Tonight, we had a rainy race at Donington Park that turned out to be very exciting, especially that last lap. Our Pro-Am drivers, a huge shout out to them, putting on an absolute show for all of our fans out there tonight. Next week, we're going to find ourselves in Imola. As I said, I am out of town next week. Unfortunately, I will miss that, but I'm really hoping to find a replacement, whether it is the legendary commentator Tyler Morgan, or we can find someone else to hop on and host that race for us. So please show up and show them some love out here. After Imola, we're going to find ourselves in Spa. Spa will be a very interesting track. It's a track a lot of drivers are very familiar with. There doesn't seem to be a lot of love for Spa, though, but I think it will make for some great racing. After that, we are going to go to a fan favorite, Mount Panorama, another exciting track. We'll find ourselves after that in Misano. Misano will also be pretty exciting because Misano always has great racing. And then we have our last race of the season, which is our final mystery track, which I got to check my work calendar because I may be out of town for that as well. So we will see. We will definitely have to have someone, or I will just burn the midnight candle hosting that remotely, if I can, from a hotel in New York. All right. Well, anyways, I will stop my terrible singing as we wrap up tonight. Thank you all so much for being here and joining, especially you, Sid, hanging out, chatting with me this whole time. Gannon, I saw you pop in here. Arturus, I saw you pop out here. And Gav, of course, thank you for the Prime sub. And we can't forget all of our wonderful Patreon subscribers for all your love and support. Thank you all for supporting us here at DRL. It means a lot to us, and it allows us to host these amazing races here, whether it be through ACC, whether it be through iRacing, all the fun prizes we're able to give back to our drivers in our community. You want to join the community, you want to hang out with us, you want to be a part of this all, join us on Discord. I'll drop a link in chat here. Come hang out with us. Even if you don't want to race in ACC, we can talk IRL racing, we can talk setups, we can talk all sorts of fun things. We even have other games if you're into other games, if you're into whatever it is. It's just a fun community of people, and we would love to hang out with you outside of these races. Well, thank you all so much for joining me here. I'm sorry I didn't have the camera on, but we will hopefully get back to it in Spa, kind of back to normal here. But until then, I will see you guys all in a couple weeks.